Hello, I'm going to start this off with an apology. Sorry I haven't had a video out sooner, but there's been a few reasons. One, a friend of mine's vehicle's been off the road, so he's been borrowing Edna for a few weeks until he got his back on the road. And the other is that these things decided they were going to walk off with a few grand's worth of Land Rover bits. Axle, seats, prop shafts, drums, hubs, all sorts of bits and pieces. So that set me back a bit. So I'm pretty thieving, taking other people's stuff. There we go. There's nothing I can do about it. Hopefully the police will sort it. But anyway, on to other things. I'm going to make, because I cannot find a decent bull bar. It had a wraparound bull bar when my father-in-law originally got it, and it's for aesthetics, but a little bit of protection. But I'm going to make my own because I can't find one that's not just powder coat and rusted metal underneath. So I'm going to try and make one and go from there. I have put a diesel heater in. The video wasn't very good, so I haven't sort of done too much on that, but I'll see if I can get it together a bit better. But then I've got to sort out the electrics. I'm going to upgrade the fuse box, because the fuse box had the old glass fuses, and I found out that the lighting issues haven't gone away. But if you wheel the wires behind the fuse box, everything comes to life. So I'm going to put bladed fuses in, replace all those glass fuse holders with something a bit more modern, a bit more reliable. So we shall get started, and hopefully, fingers crossed, those fuckers get done and I don't have to see them again. So I said when I was making these videos that I would show the highs and lows. I took it to a shoot on the 28th and it drove an absolute dream. It was great. Went to take it to my sister-in-law's yesterday and the handbrake's jammed. I don't know why, so I need to work that out because I can't go anywhere at the moment. So we'll get on that and see what it is. It could just be a spring's come out. I don't know, it's been a long time since I've opened one of these handbrakes up. But it should be a fairly simple job, I hope. So, see how it goes. So as you know, I've been having some trouble with the handbrake sticking. When I took it out for a drive, it was fine, and then I went to move it the next day and it wouldn't move. Something had jammed up, so I took everything off, looked at the handbrake, couldn't find anything wrong. It was all adjusted right. Put it all back together, went out for a drive, got about 10 yards, it jammed up. Pushed it back on the driveway, well, forced it back on the driveway, should I say. Took the drum off, took the handbrake, all the innards out, so the shoes and the springs and everything out, and then drove it to work, and it was absolutely fine. Didn't bind or anything, so there is an issue with the handbrake. And then just as I got to work, there was a tinkling sound. I don't know if you can hear it. There is, in there, sounds like a bearing is in there, like a ball or a roller or something. So I'm going to take this off. It might be the bearing on the output shaft on the transfer box, but we'll get it off and see what we can find. Well, I found what was rattling. I don't know if you can see it. It's this flat bearing type thing, but it's not a roller bearing. I don't know what it's from. It's got to be. It has to be from. I think it might be from inside the handbrake puller, but I'm going to have a look at the parts diagram and see. But I don't know what it would do. It's not the bearing from the output shaft, because the oil seal is still there, and it can't get past that. So I don't know. I don't know. A bit perplexed. And if it is from this, I don't know how it came out originally when the handbrake was working. See if I can find out. Well, I've pulled the handbrake apart. Can't fucking speak. Pulled the handbrake apart, and I can't find any drawings online, but I'm pretty sure I've worked out that in the top of this, so this goes in this brake piston, I suppose you might want to call it, I'm not quite sure. As you pull the handbrake up, it pulls a cable, which pulls a plunger, and this has got a slope to it, or a taper to it, and as you pull that plunger in, it forces this down, forces the pads up, grips onto the drum. Now this fits perfectly in there, and there's a sort of mark on there that looks like something's rubbing down it. So I'm convinced that goes in there, one top, one bottom, and as the plunger is pulled back, this bearing type thing is what forces the pad, this down onto the pad and opens everything up. Just got to put it all back together, and hopefully this is what it is. Otherwise, I'm taking a bit of a gamble, but I can't see it can be anything else, so we'll go for it. Since I've got the 110 on the road, and I had the handbrake issue, and I've sorted that now, but the camera ran out of battery whilst I was putting it all back together. But it was the little roller that pushed the plungers out, that then pushed the pads out. Somehow one of those had fallen out, so that's what was stopping the handbrake from working. Whilst I was under there though, I noticed that the front prop shaft, where it slides together, there's a lot of wobble. It's moving sort of half an inch to 3/4 of an inch up and down. So I've got a new prop shaft to fit, and then I've got some new bits and pieces. The alternator belt's gone, or going, so whack a new belt on. Gator around the gear stick, nothing too serious. Door handles, push button door handles with locks. I've got the X lock turning up, and the gear stick lock as well turning up, just to add a bit of protection, try and stop it from getting stolen. But the biggest thing, the thing I'm most excited about, starkly, is some headlights. I took it for a drive. I will take it for a drive and record how pitiful the standard Land Rover headlights are of the old style, for those that don't know them, because you can't change the bulb. They're a sealed unit. They are just one big bulb. So I got the set to keep it as standard looking as possible. It's got the fitting ring and the gator and the bulb and everything, and then it should hopefully look the same. You'll be able to put whatever H4 fitting bulb in there you'd like, whether that was a xenon or LED or something. Yeah, there you go. So it looks exactly the same as what's on there. It's I'd like to go for LEDs, but just not going to look right, not in keeping with the vehicle. So go for the standard ones, but ones where I can actually improve instead of having night light candles in there. So yeah, get some of this fitted, It's freezing cold, it's dark, but it's the only time I've got, so let's get to it. Now, both the top and the bottom UJs have gone, which are easily changeable, but I don't know if you can really get it on camera, but where you've got the two halves of the UJ that slide, the prop shaft that slide in and out, they're worn, so it actually moves up and down about half an inch. So swapping that out for a new one, but the new one that's arrived comes with the most stupid grease nipple that you can't get to. I don't know where these were made, who designed them or what, but they're really stupid. You can't get anything. You can't get anything on that grease nipple. So I've managed to take the old one out, which you do look how long that is. I don't actually think I'm going to be able to get a spanner or socket onto that grease nipple to get the old one out, but I'll try. Otherwise, when the UJ goes, I'll have it apart properly and put this in, but stupid design. Now this isn't a dig at mud stuff. This isn't a dig at all. It's just, I suppose, my impressions. On the website, although it explains what this heater box is and what it doesn't show you the quality of the build or the design. Everything in here is laid out, as you can see, is laid out for a standard diesel heater, for the clean air intake for the burner and the exhaust. You've got space for electrics or fuel pipes to come up in if they don't come up through here. You've got the holes to bolt it down to. You've got the slope at the front, so where your gear stick is, it gives you that extra space. Grill that goes at the front of the vehicle, and then the exit hole, I think it's a 65mm exit hole at the back, so you can have the air either going into the back of a station wagon if you've got it, or like I've got a truck cab, just going to put a T-vent on there and then poke it up so the air sort of circulates around. But at the bottom, you know, your wiring can come, there's a slot out of the back plate, so the wiring can come out of the back and up into the cubby box where I'm going to have my controls. But it's really well made. I think maybe a few more pictures on their website would be good. But this is, I'm very impressed. Very impressed. It's worth the money, and the instructions are really good. Some of the things you buy for vehicles show you some pictures and some very bad English, but this is good. This is very good. Very pleased. Although I'll hold my final judgment after I've put it in. Now, I hope you can see, I'm dropping this, got the heater in there, I've got the wires, I've drilled a hole through the base, through here, through the base, and I've put a little rubber grommet in there to put the wires for the fuel pump through. And the fuel pump, get these extra wires out of the way. This is the underside. It's got air intake. The clamp they give you to clamp the pipes is actually too small, so it's pinched up a bit, but it's not too bad. Then the wiring comes out through the rubber grommet into the fuel pump, tiny little hose up to the, hose up to the fuel inlet, and the exhaust scoots backwards. So I'm going to go offer that up now, see how it fits, plumb it in. I'm not going to fit it properly until I've got it running. Want to make sure it's working, but there's the little exhaust muffler. I shall pop that on the end and attach it to the bodywork somewhere underneath. So let's get that in, see how we get on. Well, I've managed to connect this to the phone. I've changed it to Celsius instead of Fahrenheit. And I can hear the fuel pump clicking away. I don't know if you can hear it on there. You can probably hear the fan more than anything. I don't know really what I'm doing because the instructions are so bad. But I'm hoping the fuel pump's going to draw that fuel through. It is slowly coming through the pipes, or the pipe up into it, so we'll see what happens in a moment. Apparently, according to a friend of mine at work who's got one in his Land Rover, it will smoke like a steam train the first time it's used. So just keep it going and keep going till it's burnt out, or burnt the smoke out. Well, that's bled through. So let's see what happens now. Saying ignition preparation on the phone. It's got a little display that says current temperature 3 degrees, or 4 degrees now. And I think that flashing bit is saying that it's trying to ignite, or it's trying to set itself up, because the phone, I don't know if you can see that, you've got sort of heat settings along here, battery voltage, target temperature, current temperature, and it's saying ignition preparation. So, oh, the fuel pump's kicked in, so see what happens. I'm gutted that I've lost more footage, but the heat warmed up and it is so effective. On a cold day, you just whack it on and within 90 seconds you've got screaming hot air coming out of it. It's great. It warms that cab up an absolute treat. I'm hoping that I can 3D print an adapter so that I can quickly connect a pipe to go into the tent. So when we go camping, there's an actual place on the Oz tent for heater hoses to go into. So hopefully when I'm camping, if it's really chilly, I can just whack the heater on, off the second battery, off its own fuel tank, and have some warmth in the tent. So yeah, overall, so pleased with it.